Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. More, hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
Hi, how's it going? It's been a minute. I'm Blake. I don't know if any of you know me. Some of you probably do. That's a weird thing. Of course you guys know me. Of course you know me. Some of you may not. I haven't done this in a while. I've been blasting this, talking about coming back, talking about this thing that I used to do, right? This weird thing. I just want, before we get to tonight, it's been a long and emotional and strange week for me, as I think a lot of you know. And I just want to say a couple things. First off, holy shit, thank you. If you're ever feeling down, lose your job. No, don't do that. But like everybody's been so nice to me. The messages, the encouragement, the things will be okay. Big feels. And that, thank you all. Secondly, we're gonna get a couple things just real quick and clear. I am no longer with Metal Ninja Studios. I wish them the best. In particular, Christian DeKolomansky and Matt Kreutzer. There were days as my design team, and there were days where I thought the three of us could do fucking anything, and sometimes we did. And that was a really good feeling, and I love those guys forever, and I wish them the best. Secondly, if you are kind of new to the channel, if you're kind of new to me, or if you're coming from recently on social media, getting to know me there or something, I just want to get a couple things real quick and clear. Comicsgate is fucking trash. Empathy is not a weakness. You can't have a democracy without due process, and trans people deserve to exist. Okay, so like, I just want to say that I'm allowed. Like, that's what I think. That's what I believe, and that's my little soapbox. Okay, now without further ado, buzz, babies! I am back, and we are live, and we are gonna talk some mother buzzing comics. I don't even have a panel. I have a whole fucking panel for you tonight, and we're gonna talk comics. We're gonna talk Kickstarter, and we're gonna get wild and crazy, kids. A little crazy, a little wild, and we're talking. I know it's not crazy, but I'm excited, and it's my show, and we're back, and I'm gonna do it again next week too, because I'm already talking to people about it. So, are you excited to meet our guests and talk comics? I could bring one in because I see he's not at his chair, but I'm not going to do that because I'm a good host. So let's start. Let's go first. Who are we going to do? I'm going through the list. All right. I'm going to start with this person because I accidentally tagged the wrong creator on Instagram because your boy's a little rusty. Okay. So let me introduce my dude, good friend, semi-local Midwestern boy. He is we can call him, he's the professor of comics, Mr. Will Allred in the house. What is up, sir?
Good to be here. And can I just say about your intro? Hell yeah.
All right. Will, how you doing tonight, sir?
Doing all right. It's good to talk to you, man. It's been a minute.
Been too long. Well, I haven't talked to you in a while. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't talked to you in longer. So, and which is funny because I was giving Will and another guest shit in the green room because they used to do this. It's like pot, kettle, black, Blake. All right. Let's keep going. All right, let's bring in our next guest. I read this cat's superhero comics long time ago. And I'll never forget this. He was like one of the first comic pros to like be like nice to me. And I reviewed his book on my blog, and reached out, and I wanted to buy his comics. I reached out through his web store, and he was like, "Oh, dude," he's like, "I'll make you a custom code. You get you a little discount. I'll sign everything." He sent me a couple goodies. It was just really cool. And I was just like. I was like, someone's being nice to me. What the hell? It's great. This famous comics person is like talking to little me and like giving me discounts. Anyway, I thought it was really cool. He's still making really cool superhero comics, which we're going to talk about. Let's get him out here, Mr. Adam Barnhardt. Woo, baby!
Like, you're really hyped, man.
What is happening?
It's crazy. I was also nice to you, apparently, but I'm nice to nobody. So I don't know where that came from.
I could be remembering it wrong. I used to drink a lot, so I didn't.
Something like that. Thanks for having me, man. Glad you're back.
Thanks you. Thanks you. I'm happy to have you, and I'm really stoked to talk about your new book later because like I said, the shit show world, and that's his superhero cluster zany of this like portal of madness into comic books, right? But yeah, I love how it's getting bigger and bigger, and I'm so stoked to talk about that. And I'm really glad you were one of my first like solo. Man, I watched that. I watched a clip of that the other day. I was hammered. I was so drunk the last time I was so drunk the last time I interviewed you. That
was an experience.
I used to be a piece of shit. All right. Let's get him out. All right, this guy needs no introduction, but he's gonna get one because he's an amazing podcaster. He's an amazing writer. He's real good at meditating. He even teaches people how to meditate better. I sure as shit can't do that. Let me bring this dude out. Rylend fucking Grant, sir!
Oh, well, Rylend fucking Grant. I think I need to change my social media tag, Rylend fucking Grant. Glad to be on. Welcome back. It's good to fucking have you back, kicking ass and taking names. I want to co-sign everything you said in your intro. I want to also add that Russia is evil. Putin might be the devil, and that he and they caused the war in the Ukraine, and I will accept nothing else on the subject.
I'm also cool with that.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm not as smart globally on stuff, so sometimes I only say some stuff. Kevin's gone. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, it was. I think Putin grabbed Kevin because he was going to have some things to say.
He got disappeared. Shit.
It's happening.
I thought
we're going one by one.
College kids. Damn. Yeah. Oh man, I was too soon. Sorry.
What if this was the beginning of a horror movie where like we all kind of start disappearing one by one? And yeah,
my dogs are barking. They're already kicking the doors in. Wouldn't be surprised, honestly. You know, I guess while we wait for holy shit, the chat is popping. Yo, let's what is going on here? All right, studio chat. Live, here we go, the live chat. All right, let's go. All right, this is gonna take a minute. All right, so can I show these? All right. John, yeah, oh look, it's all fancy. John Westoff, what is up? Part-time Comics is John Westoff. Great people. Let's see here. What's the thing? I can't wait either, Jerry. What is? Hold on. He's there. It like took a picture. It's just took a picture of like Kevin's empty chair, but he's there. All right. Well, hey, it's a new platform. Hey, that Riverside's awesome. No, other than this, it's pretty cool. All right, our last guest. Made you wait, made you sweat, made you yearn for it, baby. All right. Another guy I've known for a very long time has a very amazing long-running comic book series, and he knows how to make sexy fucking hard covers. Let's get him out here. Some of you know him as Comic Books Jesus Christ. I know him as Kevin Joseph. What's up?
Oh man.
Wow.
You know, you've been spitting some truth tonight, but there's been no more true thing than Kevin Joseph is an empty chair. I'm a little hurt by how true that is, but I'm gonna pretend I'm not, and let's do this. I am so proud, and I think I'm gonna speak for 3 other people. I'm so proud to be here as you return because it is a voice that always brought passion, chaos, fun, and love of comics, and everyone who brings that to the community is wonderful, and you are wonderful, and I'm glad you're back. If it's 2 shows or 500, I'm here with you, Blake.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, all right. Feels. Yeah. So let's say hi. God, you got me. You got me flustered. All right. Let's say hi to the chat. This is so hard to do. I'm not used to this. All right. The five is Zach Hill. Hey, he does. This is the guy who does the music for my intro music. He's a great musician. Thank you, Zach. Thanks for tuning in. Tyler, we got bees. The bees are popping. Mary, oh my God, Angel. Wow, there's people showing up. Ronan coming from across the world. Cole's here. We're buzzing. Oh my God, who else? Sarah Landauer's here. What's up? She's been on the show a couple times. Great people. Oh my gosh. Oh, Ian's here. Oh, you guys are just so damn sweet. So damn sweet. John's here. Guys, you got to shut up. We got to start talking about comics. This is why I don't like live streaming, because I either ignore the comments the whole time and everybody's like, man, Blake's a dick. Or like I do the comments and then everybody's like, we're going to talk about comics or what? You know what? All right, Rylend, I'm sorry. Let's talk comics. All right. Let's First off, you guys, I knew Rylend as a comic book creator, but he also writes really good film scripts, and he does some really cool stuff. And I think are both your movies streamable now finally, or are we still waiting?
Yeah. They're both out there. Yeah. Haunted Heart with starring Matt Dillon, directed by Academy Award-winning director Fernando Trueba. That's a fun one. And then State of Consciousness starring Emil Hirsch. I like Haunted Heart a little bit better. I'd start with that one, but yeah, proud of it.
The one was the last time I interviewed you, I watched the trailer and it was in like Italian. Is that one? And I was like, this looks really cool, but I have no idea what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. So the way films are made and funded right now, they're both in English. However, the Trueba movie, Trueba's a Spanish director. Matt Dillon actually lives in Italy now. He lives in Rome. He fell in love with a beautiful Italian woman, and he lives in Rome. And so he does a lot of work in Europe in general. But that movie was a Spanish and French co-production that shot in Greece. And then the Emil Hirsch movie was an Italian production that shot in Italy and in South America, but was supposed to take place in Texas. This is how a lot of shit is getting made these days. I have another movie that is in the pipe right now that is an Italian production that will shoot in Germany. So it is a I'm tripping over my words right now, but we are one big fucking planet working together right now in some ways. In other ways, it's a chaotic fucking mess. Yeah.
That is true. And speaking of chaotic messes and criminal activity, that's a good segue into Peacekeepers.
Wow,
but
that was well done.
Got it. Still
got it.
This is the 5th issue. Yeah, I feel like, man, you've been like a lot of the last handful of months, like The Breach, you got the new book, The Breach, and then Jump had a new issue, and now you're back with Peacekeepers. I keep running into creators who are like on these kind of accelerated Kickstarter schedules. Are you messing around with something like that, or does it just kind of happen to be how it landed?
I think it's why we're all not doing as well as we'd like to be doing. That in the economy is just the market is saturated. What happened with me is that film and TV is having a really hard time right now. I am actually supposed to be running a television show right now, starring David Diggs and Raphael Casal and Emmy Raver Latman, and supposed to be fun and crazy and awesome. But there's a lot in Hollywood that is on hold right now, and I don't like idle time and idle hands, and so I have kind of doubled down on the publishing stuff. It's just I have stories that I have stuff on the hard drive. I have stories I want to tell, and so yeah, I've really kind of turned the volume up on things. So new issues of the Jump, new issues of Peacekeepers, which is on Kickstarter right now. I'm breaking news here, but I'm my 4-time Ringo nominated book Banjax, which is kind of a dark superhero noir, It was nominated for Best Series alongside Bitterroot and Something's Killing the Children. That is coming back to Kickstarter later in the year. Kind of an interesting spin on that, where you would think that I would just kind of pick up where we left off last time, but instead I kind of zoom in on a particular character and have some fun with that. There's a lot of that. I have started acquiring licensed properties to release on my own.
Whoa.
And so we will have a huge announcement at San Diego Comic-Con about the first property. And so look forward to some licensed comics from me, from Half Evil Comics, that are going to kind of blow your doors off. They're kind of cool. So yeah.
Exciting. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I've always, I mean, I feel like all your comics have, there are no doors left on your comics. You've blown them. You've blown them all off, sir.
No more doors to blow off.
It's just open gateways everywhere. But like, what is, what's your goal for Peacekeepers? Because like right now we're at 5 issues. Are you like trying to sum up like a six issue arc trade, or like where are we at?
Yeah, so Peacekeepers is done. It is
the final?
This first story arc is 6 issues.
Okay.
And so it was always envisioned as that. I kind of envisioned releasing it earlier than I did, but I get pulled away for movies or whatever. But it's coming out. I would say issue 6 will probably drop early next year, depending on how the market looks. But yeah, and it is a Fargo-esque crime drama. And I get paid to write, action thrillers. I've written for folks like Ridley Scott and J.J. Abrams and Justin Lin and John Woo. I've written a lot of great kind of heist movies, police procedurals in my lifetime. Have rewritten a lot of other ones. And so, you can only do so much in Hollywood. Hollywood lets you tell kind of 3 or 4 different kinds of stories, and that gets really limiting. The beauty of comics is you can tell any kind of story you want to, as long as it's done well. You're going to find an audience for it. And so, yeah, Peacekeepers was a story that I've been wanting to tell for a long time. I knew that I kind of couldn't tell it effectively the way I wanted to tell it in film or in TV. And so I started churning these out, and really happy with it. Again, a Fargo-esque crime drama. There's bank robbery, there's murder, there's mayhem, and
There's some sex too.
There's There's some.
I'm a child.
Some straight fucking. But yeah. So a love letter to some of my favorite crime films like Heat and Fargo and No Country for Old Men. Really kind of taps into these like case to season police dramas like The Wire and True Detective, that sort of thing. And Elmore Leonard novels are probably my absolute favorite media ever made. So it really taps into kind of that sort of stuff, and it's fun, and it goes into kind of it is about a small town police department and how they deal with like a kind of national level crime and the FBI invading and trying to step on their toes and all that stuff. And it is weird because I wrote it years ago, but we really have this thing going on in our country now, and it is like kind of a small town mindset and a big city mindset clashing all the time, and different value systems and different ways of dealing with things and different ways of investigating crimes and I think these stories, when they get kind of played out in the media and when they get played out when we're arguing on Facebook, they become very black and white. We line up on our sides and we scream at each other and nothing ever gets said. This is a gray area story. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. And it's an exploration of that and how like, there's great about living in a small town, and there's something really awful too and limiting about it. And there's something great about going out into the world and having your world expanded and embracing all the world has to offer. But you kind of leave something behind when that happens. And so I think at its heart, thematically, that's what it's about. But it's also about robbing and shooting and killing and fighting and fucking. And, it is a Howl at the Moon crime thriller with a little heart and a little soul. And
it's very human. All your writing
yeah.
always is. You're very good. Can you guys see this? Is the screen share working?
Yeah, that's up.
Yep.
Oh hell yeah! All right, cool. Sorry, I was, I was trying to be a good host and get this figured out while listening. I think I did it, sort of, but better late than never. But yeah, so here's the page. As you can see, Rylend's funded. Broke 100 backers. Plenty of time left to go. And you can always get like he's always got like great. I mean, I'm sure you got the back issues and previous back issues you can get your other series. Let's do this. I'm gonna go old school and do my thunder voice. All right. All hell breaks loose in a quaint northern Michigan community when a team of in over their heads bank robbers kills a beloved sheriff's deputy. In a small town with big secrets, local detective Richard Holton races to peel back the layers of a depraved down-home conspiracy before the bungling federal agents assigned to the case send everyone involved to the ground. From Rylend, oh wait, that's done. That's your quote. All right, I was in it. I was really in the moment there, but all right.
Yeah, that was nice. Caught up.
But I love you always have really cool art. You always have, are you doing like cool homage variants again?
Yeah, so we have a Pulp Fiction homage cover this go round. We have a Reservoir Dogs homage cover, and one of my favorite film posters ever is from The Graduate, and this issue is very much about seduction. And so we did kind of an homage to a classic image from The Graduate. So there's our Pulp Fiction cover.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the panels on the cover. You don't see that a lot.
Yeah, I like the tears. It's something I only do on Peacekeepers. I didn't do them for the second issue and people got mad about it, so I brought them back.
Nice. Sometimes you gotta listen to the fans and bring shit back.
Yeah.
Got a little meta there. Anyway, not like meta. They're not a sponsor.
Yeah.
Of the show. All right, but
yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Ooh, I like that. Is this like
that's the Graduate cover.
Is that a wraparound too?
Yeah. So it is the second cover we've done that does not go like this. It goes like this. Yeah.
Okay.
It is a horizontal cover rather than a vertical cover. I like messing with people. So fuck you guys. Order it.
Get it. Get messed with. Did I see earlier you can read issue 1 right now? You can just if you're
yeah. The link is right in there. It gets you kicked off, and yeah, we're on issue 5. So yeah, read issue 1 and fall in love with it, and then get caught up. That is the beauty. I mean, sometimes all of these guys have these kind of long running series that are great, and sometimes it's into how do I jump in on issue 5 or whatever. But we all have catch up tiers, and affordably done, and it's a good way to. And I mean, we are a binge culture in general now, right? It's like we want all episodes of The Bear dropped, all at the same time, and it takes us about 36 hours to get through them. So we can race online and tear through it. So I think all of these guys, with their ongoing series, like that's the way to do it. Just get yourself a big fucking bucket of comics and lock up for a night and tear through it, and you'll have a new favorite book. Great books here, and I will say, like I all these guys, I've read their books, and
it's a funny time to pause.
No way.
John for his first show back, so.
Yeah. Your internet hiccup. You're like,
that just frees up.
I won't lie. I've read all their books and.
Couldn't have been better timing.
Yeah.
I know a compliment was coming, and I thank you for it. We just didn't hear it.
There was something nice there. There was niceness. No, that's awesome. One of the things that that is great about Kickstarter is when you get these long running campaigns. It's not like going to the comic book shop, and I love your local comic book shop, and yes, you should go there. But when you go there, if there's a new book, maybe it's only 3 issues deep. It may not have those 3 issues. Like especially if it's popping, if it's big and a very popular series. But with Kickstarter, it is a necessity. Like as a Kickstarter creator, like if you're always offering those back issues, and usually I've talked to some of you guys, ends up as like a kind of juggling act sometimes, like when you're ordering and printing, like how much to order, because like sometimes you talk about how like you're out of issue 1s, but you got like 1,800 issue 7s or something, so you got to kind of be be careful what you get. But yeah, there's always a way. Typically, when you're on Kickstarter, if you find a new book that looks very interesting, you may be able to snag a trade in the new issue or a digital bundle. All these guys got great digital bundles. I'm pretty sure we can talk about. But yeah, that's one of the great things of Kickstarter is it's real easy to start at the beginning on these campaigns. You don't have to go pay eBay taxes or go hunting dollar bins or buy some fucking omnibus. I love those too, but they get expensive and it's hard to read on the toilet. You just got to think about stuff like that. So,
but I mean, also you have a direct line to the creator. Like, where do you get that otherwise? It's like, or get the book signed, get the, you find somebody you like and you get all of it. I mean, it's, it is crazy. Like if you told me that this would be the state of the business, like in a very positive way 10 years ago, like I would have, it's kind of like a dream. It's like, oh yeah, I like this creator. Oh, this creator is like checking this shit every day and I can just message him or her and ask, hey, do you have this? Oh, this cover from 10 years ago? Do you have one of them lying around? Oh yeah, you do. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. That's like, when has that ever happened in the history of the fucking world? I mean, we sit here and we talk about, oh, the world sucks and the business is going to shit and diamonds crashing, but look at this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, I don't know. This is a miracle of commerce. So like, participate,
Yeah. Amen. Oh, I don't know why I said that, but
Bless you, my friend.
praise Rylend. No, whoa. We don't need to do that either, bro. I'm not starting a cult. I thought about it once, but no, I don't have it in me. No, Rylend, I totally agree. It's still a magical experience. I mean, comics in general is a the teamwork, the camaraderie. It's just a weird industry, right? Like, even with its negatives, there's still like a lot of beauty behind it. And I had a job meeting today, right? And I talked about this with the person, and I said, as much as it can hurt you, and it's the stress is a little different. It's like it sometimes it can like almost break you, but then it can reward you like so intensely, right? And which almost it kind of isn't fair, right? Because I'm very much I'm talking about a bad relationship. Like, no, it'll be different next time. Like I realize that's exactly what I'm going to stop because I'm just digging a hole. I'm digging a hole. And comics is it's a healthy relationship. I swear. I swear. No. All right. Anyway,
you'll be going like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, and you haven't heard from anyone. And am I screaming into the void? What am I doing? And then you'll get an email, and you won't recognize the name. You won't know who the person is, and either they met you at a convention or they backed to Kickstarter a year and a half ago, and they finally opened up the books, and they reach out to you and say, hey, this part of the story meant something to me for this reason. And you can live off of that email for 6 months. And that goes to what Rylend said about, that one-to-one with the creator. It goes the other way too. It's a lovely symbiotic relationship. Doing comics can be hard, but doing indie the way we're doing it is gorgeous.
very
Absolutely.
cool. I agree. I like that. Kevin. You say smart things sometimes. I like that. I also want to know, I know we're talking about campaigns and I'm showing pages. If you're watching this or if you watch this later, in the YouTube description, show notes, whatever you want to call them, I believe they're on Facebook as well. And I've tried to be pretty good, like when I post stuff, but in the comments or the show descriptions, there's links to all these campaigns. So you'll be able to get to Kickstarter and check this stuff out. The algorithms hate when we post links and stuff, but they are there, easily clickable. It goes right to Kickstarter. Nothing's going to yell at you. Nothing's going to hack your system. Probably, I don't know. The Russians aren't going to get you. I'm pretty sure. The Russians don't have Kickstarter, do they? Fuck. No, all right. Rylend got me going. Now I'm scared. No. All right. So, we got some more comments. I want to hit some comments and then we'll get to Adam's campaign. Real quick, let's see. Everybody's happy I'm back. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm just saying thank you. I think that's my old co-host says he's new to me. Thanks, Cole. Let's see. All right. Yes. Hey, cool. I'm glad some of I'm an intense person. All right. I said it's been an emotional roller coaster week, All right. So yeah, oh my god, there's so many comments. Jesus Christ. Go away. Stop watching my show. Hold on. Thank you everybody. I think they're like talking to each other now. All right, hold on. Dan's here. What's up, Dan? I saw. I'm trying, guys. I'm all right. We'll get to this. I'll try. I'll try and be better. Adam has a book out. First off, I mentioned a long time ago when I read the Shit Show Volume 1 trade, and you almost think, right, it's going to be kind of like funny, like it's going to be like a Rick Remender loser superhero, but and it's but it's a lot darker, right? It's dark and it's nasty and it's very gritty. When the Shit Show Volume 1 trade came out, I know you had kind of some plans and way back when you were working on your sci-fi book too, but were you always planning on dropping more one shots, more team books, building this world? Like, was that always the goal?
No, not at all. I wanted to do the 3-issue miniseries, and then against all the advice I got, I've just stayed in the world since, and I have no real intention on leaving it. It's in Shit Show we established something that I could tell whatever story I really want at this point, at least. Um, Thanks for that pull quote, by the way. I'm gonna put nasty on the next printing of the trades. But no, man, I, I don't know. When I started pitching Shit Show around, the publisher that picked it up explicitly stated on their submissions portal they don't take superhero pitches. And then they picked it up, and then that just
Ooh, that's gotta feel good, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
If it was a
kinda,
cooler,
sorta.
it was a better publisher. Hindsight 2020, though.
Yeah, right. It's no longer ad said publisher.
Ryland's been there too.
So yeah, man, no, that just kind of broke down any walls and made me feel like I could do whatever. Like Kevin said, you'll get an email or even as something as simple as like a very like coffee napkin sketch layout of 2 pages. And you're like, okay, maybe I don't hate comics. Maybe I want to keep making comics for the next few days. And then you'll get the pencils and inks in, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this. But no, to answer your question, I never anticipated staying within uh, um, this world. I wanted to tell other stories, but this just keeps kind of dragging me back.
Well, and you've done it like very intelligently. But, like, how long does it take me to say intelligent? But like, yeah, you genre bounce within. You've gone kind of like horror and mystery and borderline fan. And like that's. Does that keep it easier for you? Like maybe like you never feel like trapped in a project maybe when you can kind of like push those boundaries and you're in the same world but you're telling different kinds of stories. Like does that kind of maybe help with the inspiration, keeping things fresh, keeping things new?
I want to say yes to that question because it makes me sound a lot more intelligent. But it's really just a result of my neurodivergency and ability to not keep my mind on one thing for too long at all. And then so I'll start developing all sorts of other comics and get an artist on board, and then we make it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm kind of, let's put this on the back burner for a little bit, and we'll revisit it. Within the past year or so, I'm like, damn, maybe we should start finishing these stories. We finished Shit Show, got that out, got the trade out. We finished Keepers of the Cosmos, we got that trade out. We're super close to getting Knock completed, which is another superhero story, and that trade will be out early next year.
That Knock was on Kickstarter not that long ago either. I feel like.
Yep.
It was fairly recent.
We've done the 2 issues on Kickstarter, and the pages are pretty much done for number 3. So that'll be coming sometime. Rylend talked about it a bit. It's just kind of this very big cloud of uncertainty on on how people react to Kickstarter. And there are a lot more bigger problems going on in real life than comics. You know,
I know. I got fired.
right? See,
You
yeah,
guys know? You guys know that?
yeah.
Blake
We're
lost
live
his
and
job and we're
unemployed,
reaping.
babies!
Blake lost his job and we're reaping all the benefits.
Right? Yeah. It was like a day. I think Kevin was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Were you serious about relaunch?" No, that was a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. Kevin.
No,
Kevin
very
did, though.
selfishly, and Blake can attest to this. I saw his posting, and I'm like, damn, maybe he has time to help promote my shit now.
Yeah, that's, like I think people figured that out pretty quick too. Why is Blake posting about Lost Son all the time? But no, I appreciate it. That was cool. It was. I like took a screenshot, Adam, of my and sent it to Matt, and I was like, guess who's working? I was like,
Record time, 10
yeah, right.
seconds.
Like, everybody was like, dude, just take some time. I was like, what time, motherfucker? I ain't got unemployment anyway. But don't take a vacation. Think about it. Like, I agree, and I appreciate the advice. If possible, I would have. But you know, we had to think and move quickly.
You did make some killer ribs this weekend, right?
I did. I also, yeah, I made good ribs. That was nice. And then I gave the leftovers to because I made like a few slabs, and then I gave some to my aunt and made cornbread for everybody and gave the family leftovers, scored some points. I'm not on great terms with my family, but like everybody's been real cool with me about this too. I was kind of worried about that, and my dad.
Well, I mean, you brought ribs. So.
Yeah, ribs help, right? They're like, Blake has time to cook. Shit. But yeah, no, my dad.
You may be on better terms if someone's bringing cornbread. You know, I want to be on cornbread terms
when
with my
you
family
make
members
cornbread
as well.
from scratch, they'll look at you differently. Speaking of looking differently, you're doing some different things with the fucking gods of Egypt. That was bad. All right, can't win them all, Rylend. But like, you're playing with gods and deities now, and origin stories, right? That aren't yours, which is neat. What made you want to go this route? How'd this come to be? Because this is kind of a different play. Like when I jumped into it, I got to read this. It's excellent book. Again, we've talked. You can get the past issues, but you can hop into this, and it's pretty effortless to hop in. But what made you want to like play with the gods, Adam?
Growing up, like at the Scholastic Book Fair, I would skip the Lamborghini poster and buy like a book on mythology. I've just been infatuated with various pantheons for whatever reason. And one of my most favorite comic creators is Mike Mignola, and he, the way he intertwines mythology and folklore, while keeping true to these stories that have been told for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, while putting like a fresh spin on it, is something I want to totally emulate. So that's what we're doing with Lost Son. It's takes probably Egypt's mythology's most popular story, the story of Osiris and Seth, and we put the shit show sheen on it. It's
I would have said the shit show schmear, but hey, I get it. I get that may not be the
Ooh, shit.
damn, that's good.
Has it
I'm giving
been
you
shit
pull
shine?
quotes. I'm giving you market. What you should? Oh wait, you did hire me. Fuck, I'm working. I'm working, baby.
Yeah. You're gonna get another bill for that one.
Damn it. All right, Blake, no more talking the rest of the episode, please.
Yeah, sorry, I'm too good. I was really stoked to see Ignacio Demeglio. He did your cover D. He also drew my B that I use in my logo. He drew that for me a long time ago, and then wouldn't let me pay him, which was he's such a jerk. That guy.
Nice.
I'm trying to get him on my show too. He's across the world and a dad, so it gets tricky. But yeah, I love that cover. The colors are just, I mean, I love his style, like his like textured. I'm so bad. It's textured and it's playful, but it's like it's serious and has an edge. True, right? And then these colors are just like bombastic. I love this. That's a great cover. You have a lot of you always get good cover artists. You have a real good eye for this, but you've got a pretty serious range of variants here. You went big on this one.
Yeah, man. Comic. So this was also picked up by the same publisher. Naturally, it's a sequel to Shit Show, so they're going to publish it. So it's just stuff I've gathered quite
Oh,
literally
this.
over years.
Okay. Okay.
And we've just kind of been sitting there on it. Funny, Ignacio's incredible, man. We started talking about a comic, and I'm like, I have this idea, and I think your style is perfect for it. And I made like a very crude drawing and shot it to him in a DM. And he's like, how about this? And sends me like a cover that's three-quarters the way done. I'm like, oh, that's much better. That's much better. And that ended up pretty much what you see right there. So yeah, he's great to work with. Samau, he's
I worked
from
with
Brazil.
him recently. He's cool. Not at my old job. But
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
very talented and
he
nice.
was did interiors on Shit Show. He does a cover for every single Kickstarter I do. And then Juan Angel also does covers for anything I do. And
Oh yeah.
yeah,
What's
man.
what's the plan for this new arc for like the traditional sequel to Shit Show? Are you gonna be like another three? Your issues are a
It's
little
another
bigger
three-issue
than normal.
miniseries.
Okay.
And then I'm calling it like 3.5 series or a 3.5 issue series because I am working on kind of like a spin-off type prose novella novelette
Oh, look at Mr.
um,
Fancy Pants over here,
series
getting
of
rid of the
short stories.
pictures.
No, I just ran out of budget for more comics for
That
this,
art's expensive.
for artwork for it. So I said, hey, let's try making my words better.
I'm not losing it. Kevin's gone again, right? That's not the glitch in the system.
No, I see him. You're definitely losing him.
Oh, that's funny.
Losing it.
That's funny. That's funny.
Well, yeah, that's Lost Sun, man. It's Egyptian mythology and superheroes and zombies. I say it's the Mummy meets Weekend at Bernie's because there's some dark comedy related to zombies and such. But yeah,
I don't know if Cole's still around, but Cole says because of you, Mountain Dew sent him a cookbook. I
I
don't.
got that cookbook too. But once upon a time, I was a fast food journalist,
Oh, that's right.
if you can say that.
Because
I was
Mountain Dew used to send you like the secret. Are they? Do they still? They like still send you
No,
random
they
shit? Okay.
since I left the job, I have lost all my contacts. The only contact I still have is Hidden Valley Ranch and
Mm.
like Red Vines. So if you guys need any Red Vines or Hidden Valley Ranch,
Not together though. Hopefully.
it was always sketchy, man. Mountain Dew would send me like the flavors that they're like pushing out 2 years from now, and they would arrive in like unmarked tin cans, very ominous. And I put it in my body, and
What could
Hey,
go
I
wrong?
used to drink a lot of Mountain Dew too, and then found out I was diabetic, and then I drank a lot of Diet Mountain Dew. Now
yeah.
I'm trying to. Man,
Same.
I've quit so much shit, and pop is so hard. Like I'm having legit trouble with it, and it's what's
man.
bullshit about it is when you cave and you drink a pop, and it's you're falling off the wagon, you're failing, but it's like it's just a soda, right? But it's the same thing as I mean, it's not like the same thing, but I mean it's like, oh, I'm just having a beer, right? I'm just doing a line, chill, right? But it's just it's so the fact like that people treat it like it's just soda, but it's harder to quit than anything I've quit, and I've done dumb things and quit them, and like and I'm almost a year into no drinking, and that wasn't hard though. Like I was just thank you, but I just kind of I took a break, and because I think most people know I shared the picture. I fell asleep at my sister's wedding at the family table. I was like dancing, and then went and sat down, and then they woke me up, and they're like, "We're leaving, dude." So, but that I didn't make anybody mad. It was a little embarrassing, and I took a break and stuck with it, and it just was kind of I don't really miss it, But it kind of freaks me out because it's just like, oh, pop's not. Let's give it to kids, give it to everybody. Like it's legit hard to quit drinking, and it's you're like it's legal harmless substance anyway. Whatever. I'm a fat gross like I eat bad things. I'm not like some. I'm not Rylend, right? Doing kung fu, like it's not kung fu. I'm not. What do you do? I'm sorry. No, it's not jujitsu either, is it? Or is it jujitsu? No. You're muted.
Oh, how did I get muted? God damn it! It is mostly karate. Tung Sudo is a Korean art. I study with Bill Wallace, which is Okinawan karate. I do a little kung fu-y type stuff, Wing Chun, and yeah, and do a lot of wrestling, judo type stuff. So yeah, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
And he installs great toilets. I would have taken a nice shit on that thing, by the way,
Yeah.
bud. He did a great
Yeah.
job.
It was a magical fucking
I'm
shit.
picky about where
Yeah.
I shit. I don't shit in public. I have
Yeah.
a legit fear of public bathrooms. I don't know why. Hey, we brought Ignacio out of the ether. What's up, dude? And then we got Kevin. Oh, nice. Thanks for showing up, dude. He has a great Kickstarter that I swear we will talk about one day. Jeff, thank you, dude. Everybody with the nice comments saying I'm glad to be back. Like, I really appreciate it. Omar, what's up? I'm gonna get this fucker on soon. You watch. I'm gonna bring Omar on. But yeah, no, everybody, thank you so much. But yeah, Rylend, I remember when you started doing like the class and like, dude, like Rylend like posting videos of him like high kicking. Like I'm like, I get out of a chair, my back hurts. I legit slept on I'm left-handed, slept on my left arm wrong, and I pinched a nerve. And for like a month and a half, I had legit peg. It's finally starting to feel better. I can't even sleep right.
Weird shit starts to happen as we get older.
I know. I'm 39.
Yeah,
I'm like clinging.
Yeah.
I'm like October's it for me.
I mean, I'm blessed that I posted that video and then I was probably in bed for about a week afterwards. But I'm blessed in that I can still do all of the stuff I could do when I was 18. All the bullshit stuff, like it's basically dancing, the spin kicks, the kicking above my head, all that stuff. Like, and it looks cool, but it is completely useless. It's gymnastics, right? But it looks cool. And so, but when I was 18, I would do it, all night. I would wake up the next morning, do it again. Wake up the next morning, do it again. That's how it would happen. Now I do it for a couple hours one night. I wake up the next morning, my back hurts, I'm limping a little bit, and then I can't do it again for another 2 or 3 weeks. So that's where I'm at right now. Blessing and a curse.
You'll probably look better without a shirt than I do still, though, bud. So you got that going for you. What's up, Dylan?
There's only one
for
way
hanging
for us
out.
to find out.
Hey, I'm just you know I was gonna do it. I'm gonna be like Bert Kreischer, but the comic book's Bert Kreischer. Hey, if it brings in the metrics, fuck it, right? No.
Love it.
But yeah, Adam, I know we got sidetracked real quick, but I think the new book looks great. Your new covers look great. I really did dig the new issue. I'm stoked to help you out for the rest of the campaign. And I am continuing to say weird shit, but I am stoked I'm giving you a better interview this time. So I feel like I'm just on it, I can do no wrong. With that, let me fuck up with Will. I tagged Mike Allred on Instagram today.
We're probably related, man.
And then like I didn't notice, and then someone said they were like, someone was like, oh dude, I can't wait to see it. And I was like, oh no, different Allred. Like, this dude does crossover division. And then someone else commented and they're like, do you mean Mike Allred or Will Allred? And I was like, fuck me. I was like, this first day back, right? Like, god damn, I already messed up the assignment. But no, Will is you've done the hardcover, you've done the volume 1, you're continuing with issue 6. You have a very cool Kickstarter because I'm a book nerd, I'm an English nerd, and you have this like story within a story. It's a fucking celebration of literature. I love it. You get nerdy about it. Crossover division, and you are crossing over with a very cool, trippy text. You want to while I pull up the page, you want to just fill us in on that real quick?
So we're crossing over with the Island of Dr. Moreau. I'm a huge fan of H.G. Wells and his brand of social he called it social fiction or science fiction at the time. So there are some, I think the thing I love about doing this is that, one, I get to play with works by writers who are so much better than I am. So I just get to steal their stuff, right? But I mean, there's some cool things that I try to bring out, or I try to match some of the themes and, really what I'm trying to do is show people why I think these things are so cool, right? You know, why is War of the Worlds cool? Why is, you know, Dracula?
Why are books cool, Will? Tell
They're
us.
awesome. But
Tell us for the fucking idiots out there who need to know. That are like, oh, reading's too hard. No.
Well,
Books are awesome. Go to your library, read for
Yes.
free. It's great. Anyway, sorry, Will.
exactly. I mean, and that's one of the great things about libraries is that please go read our stuff in libraries, right? Because we get paid. They're buying copies of our works to put in the libraries. So libraries are awesome for creators, right? But I mean, I just love playing with really kind of our, you know, if you look at the public domain, it's really kind of our cultural inheritance, right? I mean, I can tell a story about Dracula. 99% of the people that you're going to talk to have never actually read Dracula, right? But they know
I don't know how
It's
great and
baked-
gay it is. Read it. It's so gay. I love it.
But it's baked into our cultural consciousness, right? Like Frankenstein. How many people have read Frankenstein? You know, it's being able to go back to the source of that and just play around with, you know, what spawned this thing that everybody knows, right? You know, and see how I can, you know, play around with the themes that are present and just play in that world a little bit. And I, you know, okay, maybe I'm stealing, but I do try to pay it back a little bit. As an English nerd, I do an essay. Hey, this is when it was published. This is who wrote it. And if you want to go read it for free, here's the Project Gutenberg link, because Project Gutenberg freaking rocks.
Okay,
right?
I don't. What is that? I don't know what that is.
Project Gutenberg is a giant public domain repository. They have ebooks, they have text versions of it, PDFs. You can go
And
find all
every
kinds of
Steve
stuff there.
Gutenberg movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of Police Academy there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
a
all
lot
the
of Police
languages.
Academy.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, it's fun playing with these things, and I get to work with artists. I mean, we were talking about artists. Artists are magic. I mean, there's no other way to say it. They just here are some words, artist. Here's some words, Alice. Make these words look pretty, and she does. You know, here are some more words, Pablo. Make this look pretty, and he does. I mean, it's just this is fun. It's fun because it talks about evil and vivisection and all that stuff, you know, because that's way cool. But I mean, just getting to play in these worlds is a blast. You know, it's a gift, right? I mean, we get to do these things, and it's awesome. Very awesome.
Will, when you're going back to Island of Dr. Moreau, do you reread it or do you just go with what you remember of the story?
Before I wrote it, I tried to read it somewhere close to when I was going to do the script. I mean, the script for this was finished probably 2 years ago. The final issue of Crossover Division is written. It's not been edited, so it's in the first draft. Oh my God, this is the worst thing ever version. And then editor James Powell is going to come back and help me make it, you know, not suck. So
He's a good editor.
yes, he is.
He has a really good. He has a good writerly Substack too. He gives a lot of free advice and talks about a lot of good books. He's good people.
Absolutely. But you know, I mean, I get to work with Alice Leclerc on this issue. Next issue, Pablo is going to be doing our crossover with Cthulhu, which is, I have to say, and I think Kevin has maybe seen this. We tried our first double page splash. Okay, for issue 7. Giant freaking Cthulhu. And let me just say this. Pablo could probably move to Japan and draw tentacle porn. There's a lot of tentacles on this thing that just look freaking awesome, right? I mean, it's just giant. It's so much fun to work with artists.
A lot of cash in tentacle porn right now. He should.
There must be. I'm going to have to let him know.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to get the next issue done. Then I'll let him know.
Yeah. That's. I don't know if can you put that on Kickstarter though. I don't know. I heard they started getting weird with like not safe for work stuff, and then like Stripe and all the weird Stripe payments
Oh yeah,
and stuff.
stripe stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think full penetration tentacles is okay for
That's okay.
everybody's
All right.
work, right?
It's okay with me.
Yeah.
We don't kink
Did-
shame Blake's buzz.
Did you guys see the Steve Gutenberg full tentacle penetration movie? It was great.
Nice. It's on Project Gutenberg, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It was on the the homepage last time I was over there. Yeah.
the homepage starting strong. So and then Will's the same. He's got all these wonderful back issues, and then stuff. If you guys want to be like drawn into the issues, if you got if you're employed, I guess, and not living in a refrigerator box, you can do these cool things. I'm not. Could be a big refrigerator. I'm a big guy, but no. Will's got some cool stuff. And are you still? I may have missed it. Oh no, here it is. I was about to say he's got a very very beautiful hardcover.
Oh, yeah.
Which that dust jacket. Oh, hold on, Will. I'm gonna stop sharing so we can get that all big and.
So this is freaking awesome. Brant Fowler's the letterer and the designer, and then Pablo did this great wraparound cover for us. This is oversized slightly, and I just love it. The art looks fantastic in it. Everything looks great, and I really didn't have much to do with this. The team did it. I just said, please do it, and they did it. So it's awesome.
So yeah, I was going to ask, because Kevin, when we get to his campaign, he's got some beautiful hardcovers too, right? So the dust jacket was very beautiful, and like, I mean, just the layout. It would it'd be like a great poster, you could have done like a print or anything, but like. When you decided to have that done, so did you give them much direction at all, or were you just kind of like, I want it big and crazy and do what you got to do?
Well, because I'm a great art director, no, I just said, Pablo, hey, do you want to do the wraparound cover? He goes, yeah, here, it's done. I'm like, wait, no. Anyway, so no. I honestly, I try like. And Kevin can attest to this because we've actually written a story together that we can talk about later. But I think I'm pretty bare bones when I script. It's just like I kind of want to see this stuff in there, and maybe here's why, and then let them do their thing. If I need something to be an extreme close-up, or I need something to be like an establishing shot, I maybe say, hey, this is an establishing shot, and do your thing. But otherwise. Pretty much just say, I think this page needs this many panels. Here's the dialogue. Here are kind of the descriptions of the panels. Go and be awesome. And they do. And that's kind of the way I approach even a variant cover artists. I'm crazy, I know, but I love the art on Kelly Thompson and Meredith McLaren's Black Cloak.
Yeah.
Meredith McLaren's got a really distinctive style. So she said she was open for commissions a while back, and I said, hey, I have dollars. I have monies. Will you take monies for art? And she's like, well, yeah, right. So I said, okay, we have this many issues left. I know that this is the crossover, this issue, which one are you interested in? So she chose number 12. And number 12 is Rhyme and the Ancient Mariner. And the cover is spectacular. It's going to be a while before we get there, but take my word for it. It's a spectacular cover.
That's cool. I know I've only written like a few scripts for shorts. But then like with work, I talked with artists a lot too, but I would always be like, all right, like this and this and this, but like anything I ever said or in every script, like at the end, I'd be like, but if you can make it look cooler, go for it. Like you go ham, like do it, cause I can't imagine, like, I know some writers like visualize are any of you guys like that? Do you go like heavy, in depth on your panels? Like, do you really like see the panel and want to guide the artist, or is it like a loose direction? Like Rylend with your film background, like are you guilty of that, or do you let the artist?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty guilty of it. I have a very clear sense of what I want. All that said, the first thing I ever say to an artist is, if you see a better way, to do this, let me know. And what that does is it puts them in a place where they know that I'm open to it, but they know that I did not do this willy-nilly, right? And so when they come to me, they're coming to me and they're passionate about something, and 90%, 95% of the times that somebody comes to me, they're right and they have a better way and it's awesome, or they make me rethink it. Yeah, my issue is, so I went to the American Film Institute Conservatory as a directing fellow, and so I have a master's degree, for whatever it is worth, in film directing, and so I treat all of these like little movies that I direct. And so if you look at the credits, each one says written and directed by Rylend Grant. And so I just I've directed a lot of shit in my life, and so for me a comic script is you write these scripts, but also all of the notes that I would give to a cinematographer or a production designer or a costumer. It just goes into the script, and some of it is important, some of it's not important, but it helps to, in my experience, artists are very busy, and they don't want to have to go and find a reference for a car, right? And so if you can give them the car you want and just say, hey, draw this, then they're very thankful. All they had to do was click on the fucking link in your script and they draw the Cadillac that you wanted. And when it comes to you, you're like, oh, that's a great looking fucking Cadillac. And not, you know what? You drew a Buick, and this guy has some money. Like, we really should put him in a Cadillac or something like that. And then he has to go back and tweak the car, and he's pissed off at you. So I try not to be overbearing, but I try to be helpful, and I try to, set a tone and a mood and all that stuff. Like, sometimes if the car doesn't matter, let him draw a fucking car. But in most cases, the car matters, right? Yeah. I mean, it says something about the character. So, I mean, Nick Nolte in 48 Hours with that fucking rag top, like, that is the car that Jack Cates should be fucking driving. And if any other car pulls up, he is not Jack Cates. So, in my experience, I try not to be Michael Mann about it and be like, everything matters. A lot of the shit matters, right? And so that's my take on it.
So, quick question for you. I think it's fascinating how, or I assume it's fascinating how if there's a difference between how you would write for a movie or for TV versus a comic, because there are definite differences there. I mean, we're looking at a static image. We have the sequential versus static images that we put together in film to create that sense of motion. I mean, how do you approach those differently?
Yeah, to a degree. It's like the first thing is that there is a specific way to write a screenplay or a teleplay. And if you do not conform to that specific way, then people will look at it and they'll be like, this isn't a fucking movie. I don't know what this is. Get it out of here. The good news is there is no specific way to write a comic script. The bad news is also that there is no specific way to write a comic script. So we are all, everybody on here is a fucking comic book writer. And I bet you if you looked at all our scripts, they would be very different. So for me, it is everything that would go into a screenplay is in there, but I am also directing the movie. And so again, like all of I would prepare notes for a production designer. I would prepare notes for a costumer. And a lot of times it's just like, hey, I think that she would wear this sort of thing for this reason, and she's from this region, and in this region in the 90s they wore this, and here's some and for the most part that's helpful. But so the difference is, well, if I'm writing a movie, I'm just writing the movie. If I am writing and directing a movie, then I have to prepare other shit. I have to prepare to direct the movie. I have to prepare to collaborate with my my cinematographer, all the people that are going to make the movie. And so I just approach the comic thing the same way. I mean, I've done write for hire stuff in comics that is less intensive because I'm not the one actually kind of directing the book. I write a script, I turn it in. There's a very experienced editor that is going to go and execute it. and to a certain degree, you still need some of that stuff. I mean, the last Write for Hire I did in comics took place in China around 1900 during the Boxer Uprising, and the Indonesian guy that was drawing it, he is not an expert in 1900s China, and so, and culturally, it was for a company with Chinese ties, and it was very important that we get everything right. And so I had to go in and be like, okay, well, this is the way the temple looked, and this is the way the city looked, and the wall gate needs to be like this, and all that stuff. And so, again, sometimes it's very important. In that case, it was very important. Sometimes it's not important. Sometimes it's just a car, right?
Yeah, but not just a car, because I listen to you. No, that's not to just talk about how much I love you, Rylend, but like when I interviewed you a long time ago and learned about your film background and TV background, I've always thought that was very cool of you, because there are so many people, right, that like want to use comics as like a stepping stone to TV, or like, I couldn't get this made into a TV, so I guess I'll do comics. And like, you were very active, are very active in the three worlds, like cinema, TV, and comics, right? And you always have an idea of what needs to go where. And so I don't know, I felt like you have like a special love for comics. I like, that's not like some Hollywood person trying to, get something visual that they can pitch later. I always dug that. And hearing you talk like about your script process, about like, what's important to the story. So it's just kind of like, it's kind of anchored me being right. So I just really wanted to like hit that.
Love it.
You're right. You're right, Blake. You're right.
I do also, someone said something, Cole is sad because he couldn't drink tonight, I guess. But oh my God, there's so many comments. Thanks everybody. This is hard to do. Dan. All right. Dan said he forgot how much it was my fault that he spent so much money. Dan's like a huge Kickstarter warrior. First Issue Club, shout out, local Kansas City, amazing comic book, podcast. First Issue Club. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you. Everybody else. Oh, look, is this a David Hazan in the house saying it has been a hot minute? And he does get to say it. We're gonna get him back on the show too. I feel like I got to at least do this long enough so I can like get my friends on the show and yell at them about how much I love their comics one more time at least. But yeah, Rylend, I always like that about how you keep things separate and you have this like knowledge that kind of envelops everything, but knows where to put the right narrative bits and what medium to put them in. I don't know, like the mind on you is super impressive. Like it just, I don't know, if you listen to like the shows and shit, like if you like interview him solo, he takes you on a fucking journey. Like it's crazy. Like he's all like, I love, like I was stoked to like get the panel going, but yeah, like when Rylend gets going, like, and as a host, like, yeah, I could fucking cook. I could cook dinner, and he'll just talk, and he has like way better stories than I do. It's like, fucking go for it, bro. On that note, Rylend, I know you have to go soon, and Adam, you may, if possible, if you guys, when you leave, this is some producer stuff I should have said in the green room and forgot. Sorry, chat. It's a new platform. When you guys leave, if you could leave the window open for just a little bit to let your video upload. It shouldn't take too long, but we'll be able to make like some shorts and stuff later out of the chat. So if you do leave early, please do that. And that's, but yeah, anyway, blah, 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 blah. All right. We have one final guest, and this guy, I'm going to puff him up real quick before we bring him out. Cause he talked to me about doing this, and he was like, I miss you doing the show, and I would love to talk TART, and Ken, you'll notice this campaign as about, you're coming up on the 48-hour mark, I think. And so his campaign's running out, and I was like, I know you're running out of time, and he was like, Blake, I'll pay for StreamYard, I'll pay for your first month, and I said, no, Kevin, and this is why. And I want to tell everybody why. I don't know who, but some of you still fucking pay on my Patreon, and I haven't made content in a long time. Someone noticed on Facebook today that uh, the what am I trying to say? My last live stream was like 11 months ago. My last interview on YouTube, I believe, was in September. So like, you know, it's been a while, and so yeah, some people still are on my Patreon, and I won't lie, it's gotten me out of a jam a couple times, but recently I took the money and paid for this month of Riverside so that I could do some shows, and I very much appreciated Kevin offering that, but I really wanted to, you know, do something with the support that whoever out there is so kindly still giving me. So like, thank you. And whoever is this, you made this happen. So like everybody who's watching, everybody who had a good time, everybody who checks out these Kickstarter campaigns, everybody who watches it later, if you found my YouTube channel and you subscribe to it, like it's because of my awesome Patreon people who, you know, made this happen. And if that wouldn't happen, Kevin would have made it happen. So I don't know why people like me and want me to just not shut up, but that's, you know, that's, we'll go with it. All right. So on that note, Kevin has a really cool comic that has been out for a very long time. It's been out so long, there's trade paperbacks, and now we're upgrading to like super deluxe, gorgeous. This dude, I was riding Will's hardcover because it's a good hardcover. This dude, no, like Kevin's hardcovers are just crazy. Yeah, like let's Will's showing one. Let's see. How do I? There we go. See.
Will has one of the reader copies that we got early. So
yeah, I was about. That's the new. I just noticed. Like
that's the new one. Yep.
And now you know all these. We'll see them in the picture, but the hardcovers had to be beautiful because this comic it's a very beautiful comic, and Kevin has talked about how lucky he is to have stumbled across just the artist of artists. I like and has stuck, and oddly enough, like no one, like, you know, a lot of people do like these Kickstarter books and they find these, like they find these artists, right, and then they get picked up and then they're scheduled. Like how is Luda just not, or how is he just not backed up all the time, or is he, and he loves you so much, and like
yeah, it's definitely just his affection for me as a person is the juice that's working. No, he's definitely always busy. He's tattooing, he's illustrating, picture books. He's always busy. And so what we'll do is, you know, I'll reach out and be like, when can you do another issue? And a lot of times it'll be like, I can't do it for 3 months, but when that's over, I'm on it. And so, you know, I'll look at it and I'll be like, 3 months. All right, we'll wait. There was a time where he had to take a year off, and he allowed us to get a guest artist to do TART 6, which I'm gonna bring the chat down for 1 second. Was illustrated by one of the nicest person who has ever drawn comics in the history of the medium, Carl Moline. He passed away, I believe, last year on us. He had health issues the entire time I knew him. But even though he had health issues the entire time I knew him, he was a joy, funny, kind, an extraordinary person. So
he was like working too, wasn't he? Like he was like putting hours in at the desk while still very ill. I knew of him and I liked his art, but I never got to interview him. I never talked to him really.
Just one of the nicest, funniest, kindest, quietest people you could run into. We comics and the world lost somebody when Carl left us, and he's not my best friend. I worked with him and I had a very nice relationship with him after that. But I just want to, you know, Ludo is the artist that makes the book exist, and he allowing us to work with Carl for that issue was a gift that I'll have for the rest of my life, because, you know, if I had waited till now, I wouldn't have been able to work with Carl. So it's kind of a gorgeous thing. And the cool thing is, get back into the book, is the issue Carl drew, spoiler alert, is a bunch of three mermaids, three mer people want to kill Tart Acid, and she has no idea why. That was Tart 6. Well, in Tart 13, we send our time traveler back 5, 10, 40,000 years, I don't know. And she goes to the not lost city of Atlantis. So we actually run back to the story that Carl illustrated to maybe explain why mer people want Tart Acid dead.
Nice. And this is a very cool, like, time jumping, portal jumping, realm jumping, monster demon slaying. It's a wild story that much like Rylend was talking about, like with his stuff, like it's big and it's action, but there's a lot of humanness, there's a lot of heart in it, which is yours has a ton of that too, which is weird when it's like mainly about demons, right? Like it's just a story about demons killing other demons, just with a hell of a lot of heart, man. Like, you know, but it's true. It has a charm and a kindness and a warmness to it, right? Like it is that like tricky to pull off? Because you're very gracious to your artist, as all comic people should be. But I mean, like if you guys watch Kevin in interviews, he'll basically say like, I don't do anything. Like I've never written a page, right, that an artist couldn't make better. You know, and it's so he's very gracious to his artist, but you know, there is dialogue in the comic, right? There is writerly direction, but is that ever something? Are you cognizant of that? I guess, like, do you have to like feed that into the narrative, or does that kind of happen naturally with the characters you guys have developed?
Well, I want to write comic books that I would want to read, and I want, in my entertainment, I want to be surprised and feel something, whether it's laughing my ass off, whether it's crying, whether it's, you know, the substance turning off and just sitting there looking at my wife for 45 minutes because what just happened was extraordinary, but I don't understand any of it, you know? So I want to be moved by my entertainment. So if I'm going to create entertainment, I want to find the things in it that move me. And it just really is, you know, we know what Ludo and I worked on an outline at the beginning because it's time travel and it loops all around. I knew I wasn't smart enough to just go issue by issue and find the story. So we really broke down an outline of Tart's very long beginning, middle, and end. And we're right in the middle. We're just about to start moving into the end, which is extraordinarily exciting to me. But, you know, some issues might feel a little, we can have a good time here. So, you know, like, then we might grab, you know, Gloom Tangerine might be the toxic fruit for that one, because for some reason she's just a comedic character. I don't know why she's a comedic character, but she's hilarious. So, yeah, we just try to find what's exciting, what feels important, and what twists we can throw in the narrative that people won't be expecting. But we're trying to write the Red Wedding, where after you've seen it and you've been shocked and you think back to it, you're like, well, that was inevitable. We're not trying to write some other things that might have happened in season 8 that seemed to come out of nowhere.
No easy task.
I don't want to fool you in a way that you think that I tricked you. I want to fool you in a way that you're like, I should have seen it coming.
Yeah. You want to earn it because you're a good writer, even though you act like you're not when I ask you questions like this.
I appreciate the compliment, but what you said earlier, I have never written a single script page that wasn't improved by the artist.
I think a lot of us can say that. I think almost all of us can say that, unless maybe you're like one of those weirdos who like was the writer and the letterer and or you know, like, yeah. I mean, because it's just, you know, if we wanted to write prose, we would write prose, but we do this weird shit, you know. But yeah, by the way, I forgot to say this, but everybody's campaign page looks really good. Everybody looks great. The art always.
There's Ludo.
There he is. There's Kevin. Kevin, remember when you had the hair? I miss the hair, man. COVID hair.
Some of it.
The COVID hair. No, I know it is, but it was like you had like rock star hair for a while. But yeah, this has been like the team, right? Basically, other than like the fill-in issue, but like the same editor, letterer, Cassie, everybody, or I guess. Oh, so wait, you have 2 editors. Wow. So
Cassie has been with us. Issue 5, I believe, was when DC joined us as a letterer. Maybe issue 4. So DC's been with us since issue 4. Cassie's been our editor since issue 7, when I really felt like we needed a voice outside of mine and Ludo's to kind of make sure that we weren't messing up, and she has really helped. So she's been with us since issue 7, and when we joined a publisher, which we're no longer with, I would just say that comics are really, really hard, whether you're a publisher or a creator, and people try really hard, and sometimes they succeed, and sometimes they'll fail. And that includes the creators, not just the publishers. So that's what I'll say about my former publisher is a lot of people tried a lot of things, and some of them worked and some of them didn't. And them's the breaks. You know, I don't have any animosity because I didn't do everything right either. Everything I tried didn't work.
That's a lie. You've done everything wonderful as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
but I do want to say one thing you do really well is I think, and you have like the best digital bundle I think on Kickstarter. You are like competitively outprice every campaign on a digital bundle, but like you can get you get the whole saga up to date for $25 digitally, right? You load that up on your tablet. You load it, you read it on your phone if you want to. I would advise reading it on a tablet. You can read it on your desktop, but I mean, like, you can take it anywhere, put it on any device.
Actually, a tablet's perfect. An iPad is perfect because Ludo's a painter by nature, so his colors are one of his secret weapons.
And they blast on those screens. Yeah.
Pop on an iPad. Yeah, that digital bundle, I think it's something like 600 pages of Toxic Universe story for $25. And then, you know, like, I'll reach out to Will and be like, hey, buddy, yeah, cool if my my readers get crossover division #1, you know, and I try to find things that work. And I'm especially going to do Will because we're going to do a crossover one-shot.
Oh, yeah, Will sent me art. Let's check that out real quick. No, I'm just kidding.
Cool. Yeah, no. I'm excited about it. I'm super excited about it.
Will showed me some stuff, and he goes, don't show anybody.
Okay,
so I was gonna try and like scare you guys and be like, oh yeah, Will Gates said I could show it. Didn't work.
See, I'm just like, yeah, let's see it.
Kevin's like, yeah, totally. I was like, oh, that's not the vibe Will gave. No.
see, I do need to be controlled. I'm glad he's on here.
I won't say I didn't know the artist that you, and I won't spoil it, but
No, we've announced it. So
yeah. Oh, you have? Okay. Yeah, she's good. Oh
Tina
my God,
Valentino is exceptional.
Woo!
And again, the thing about it is, she's bringing stuff to our script that wasn't there and making it better. It's just like, and you talked about the script writing, and it would be really funny if we showed you our Google Doc, because you can tell without reading a word which page Will wrote the first draft of and which page I wrote the first draft of. It's not even close. It's so apparent because his is so very formed. It's formatted. Every dialogue box is numbered. And I'm just like, I just like throw a bunch of stuff on the page.
You're
and I'm
like writing.
Here you go. Here you go, illustrator.
But I love to read Kevin's stuff so much because there's so much more. I feel like there's so much more thought put into when he's describing a page, whereas I'm just, you know, here's the description, here's the panel, here's the dialogue, here's the cap, whatever, boom, boom, boom. But I'll be honest, and I've told Kevin this, and, you know, he can ignore it or whatever, but working on that script with him made me a better writer because I saw some of the things that he was doing that I hadn't been doing. I'm like, oh, that's cool as hell. I need to steal that. Never heard. It's all me. It's all me. Yeah. It's all me.
I like how when I introduced Will earlier, he was like, I know it's kind of like stealing, but it's not. And then now he's talking, he's like, yeah, I work with Kevin. I stole his ideas too.
Exactly. I don't have a problem. I've got it figured out.
Yeah. I don't have a problem. I'm a thief. That's awesome. Yeah, I've since like tuning into your guys' live stream on Friday nights, like before I started doing this, I knew you guys have been talking about doing the crossover. And yeah, when Will showed me the art, and yeah, I knew you guys wouldn't be like, we gotta go budget, we gotta go cheap, we gotta go real cheap on this one, you know, like, but like I didn't expect like those pages. I told Will they look so good, like you guys could easily do like a artist edition or like a oversized like black and white edition of it, I think it'd sell really because those pages are beautiful. Yeah, that's very exciting.
We both
Very
like
exciting.
each other's book. First of all, I really like Crossover Division. I think it's really unique and interesting, and you know, of the stories that he's used that I know the source material, it's always fun to see how he plays with it. And he's, you know, he's been very kind about TART. So it is a mutual, like, so if we were going to do it, if we were going to ask people to read this story and pay for it, we needed to find an artist who could make it look cool. And Ludo was too busy, and Alice and Pablo were too busy. And Will she had done a cover for you, correct?
Yeah, Tina did a cover to Cross Revision #3, which is beautiful. I mean, it's got a like a hanging dagger because we're talking about,
Yeah.
Shakespearean stuff, and it was beautiful. And Kevin and I, so I'm going to reveal a secret here. This is a life hack, okay? If you want to make comics, give the monies to the artists. That's
Yeah.
your life hack right there.
Yeah, pay artists and letters. You can sometimes budget on colors,
Mhm.
you know, but you still shouldn't.
De-
You know, I mean, you know,
depending
like
depending
do
on
what
the
you
book,
can.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
obviously, you know, don't. You're gonna like. I mean, I think what a lot of people don't know, which I think is, and I didn't really know it until a year ago, maybe, was like, you know, even when you fund on a Kickstarter, you're losing money. You know, like it's gonna
Potentially.
cost you. Production's gonna cost you money, like one way or another. Like, and Charlie Stickney's been big on this too. That was like, you know, if you were honest about what it would take to make a book, you know, like a Kickstarter book would cost like $20 not shipped, or you know, whatever it is. Like, so, but and you can't do that. It's hard enough on Kickstarter charging the bare minimum and shipping, right? And so like
no,
you're already
Charlie
in a weird
can
place.
though. Charlie can
Yeah.
because he gives books that are like 62 pages
Yeah.
long.
He
His
figured out the
individual
sweet spot,
comics
yeah.
are like 3 issues in one. So if you're paying $20 to Charlie Stickney, don't worry because that's really 3 comics you're buying.
Yeah, you're
You know,
getting like
Will
a
and
big,
I-
you're getting a girthy boy.
Yeah, I'm giving you 24 pages. I'm trying to keep it down in that $10 range because
Yeah.
I'm not giving you a 48-page issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I mean, you're right. It's Kickstarter is interesting because there is a funding level, and that's kind of setting an art. I'm like, okay, if I get this much, I'm willing to take that minimum. That's my minimum amount that I can take, not lose too much money, but get the book out into the world because that's ultimately what we want. Now, we have to be careful too, and this may get into some weird Kickstarter stuff, but if you're game, we can go there.
It's just
I'm-
us now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always concerned.
Us and Invader Comics.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Invader, another great publisher, great Kickstarter publisher. They do like the Kickstarter direct, they do like the back and forth Kickstarter direct market, but you always get like Kickstarter, you get like the cool Kickstarter variants. You always get like an exclusive Kickstarter cover like before direct market, which is kind of cool. But yeah, another cool. If you guys are out there wanting to spend money, if you got jobs and stuff and you can do that, you know, I'll live vicariously through your comic book purchases because it might be a minute before your boy can buy some books. But you know, I don't know if you guys heard, we're live and unemployed, baby. Juice it up. No, but yeah, oh yeah, all right, yeah. Let's get weird on us, Will. Let's go.
Okay, so for me, it's always about, am I giving my backers enough? Can I find some way to give them more? And that's my default, is to try to give more. So maybe my minimum should be a little bit higher, but I want to try to make ultimately the book that I want, right? As much as I want them to be happy with it, the book that I want is going to have really nice paper. It's going to have a really nice cover, multiple covers. And I'm going to cram as much as I can into that 32-page interior, right? Or 28-page interior, or whatever it is. So that's my first thing is, what more can I give, right? Let's what can I add to it? And that's a kind of dangerous sometimes, to be honest, because
Well, yeah, man, you start. This is something I learned that I got in trouble at, not being flawless at my job, right? But I didn't. I got hired as a social media manager, and within 2 years was running a design studio. Okay, so like things, I was like having to adapt, like a fucking tadpole hopping out of the river, growing legs. Right, I was like hitting the ground running, but I learned like I didn't know this before, but like everything has the multiples of four for printing, right?
Yep.
So like, oh, when a creator's like, we can just add a page. No, sir. Like, if you got to add one, you either have to take away one or you have to add four, right? And so like, and they don't ever, no one ever understands that when you try and tell them that, right? And then they're like, well, wait, but no, and so yeah, you got to think about that. And then if you're printing 100 books or 200 books or 1,000, and you've added now 4 pages to every single one, for colored pages, right? That's a big price hike. Okay, and that's going to take longer to print. It's going to take longer to ship. It's going to add to the weight. It's going to, right? So like you've thrown a wrench in the gear, right? By giving your audience more, which is good, right? Like I think it's great, but that's why. Is that what you were getting at? Is that kind of why it's dangerous? Because like all of a sudden you're like, yeah, let's throw script pages in a cover gallery and then a dust jacket.
Instead of nearly breaking even, now I'm thousands of dollars in the hole. Which, cannot be awesome sometimes. But, again, it's coming from that place of, I really want to make sure that what I send out to people, and Kevin's the same as with this, we're the ones sitting down at a table, grabbing the tape, grabbing the Gemini mailer, bagging and boarding, slapping them in there with, I do some fun little things like this really, really bureaucratic letter, right? That's got a big old, and I love my big red classified stamp. It's so fun to just stamp all those letters. Anyway, but trying to just throw some extra things in here and there so that, I really want people to feel like that, not only have they got, what they paid for, but maybe they've got more. I just really want this to be a positive experience. For the experience itself of, getting it, hey, this is like Christmas, right? Hey, I got a Kickstarter today. Let's cut into this thing and, see what it is. The experience of the Kickstarter itself, but then also the experience of actually, holding the book and reading the book or reading the digital, whatever works for them. But those are separate but related experiences, and it's both of them are important for doing what we do. And Kevin puts together some great packages with some really personalized notes that I love. We're talking about his hardcover. I got all 4 of them right there. So and that's the thing. And I'm curious, Kevin, I actually don't know the answer, so I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
Uh-oh.
Does Ludo do the design work for the entire hardcover? Or does Brand, I know Brand is responsible for the beauty that is this, right? I know DC Hopkins is your letterer. Does he take a hand in the design? I know that one thing is very important is that all of the spines line up and look the same, because that bothers me too. And these will all match, a lot of people. By golly.
I'm not even all in my life. I'm a kind of, I took my shoes off 4 weeks ago and they're right there. I don't need to put them where the shoes go because it's fine. And which, that doesn't go that great in my house sometimes, but I'm not that fastidious about things. But yeah, when I buy a trade paperback and it says Vertigo here on volume 1 and it says Vertigo here on volume 2, it does blow my mind that they couldn't just keep it similar, from one printing to the next. But that's bookshelf Vertigo. I coined that term in affection because I love Vertigo books. The actual stories are incredible, but whoever did their design stuff might be lacking. Ludo does all of the art of every book that he does, and he does resize them when we go to the hard covers because he wants to have he wants his art to look the way he wants his art to look, and that's kind of nice to have somebody who's Ludo is fastidious. He does want things to look the way he wants them to look. But we just we use Printlore to print our hardcovers, and we kind of put them in the correct order. And we talked with Sam Amborn, who is
Sam
the
is
president
awesome.
of Printlore. She's been with us since our first trade paperback was printed at Print Ninja. She was the design genius on that, and so every hardcover we've had, she's done. And so she's really our designer, but Ludo and I kind of figure out what if we have this. We only had 4 pages of extra stuff in this one because it was on a sped up timeline. So we kind of like got printing going before we had the Kickstarter, so that it could get here and get out as soon as possible. And tariffs were a question mark. We had no idea what they were going to be. I think they might still be a question mark. So that's why we kind of sped up the process. But we put things in order. We send it to Sam and we say, is this okay? And she will either tell us yes or no, you've got to fix this, this, or this. So that's kind of the process. Our designer, I'd say, is Printlore. And if you're going to do hardcovers, I recommend them because of the one-on-one service. She really fix stuff up.
Sam did an awesome job on Cross.
You said Print More? Is that the company?
Printlore with an L.
Printlore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Printlore
something
does
good
Printlore,
customer
yes.
service, man, goes a long way. I didn't do a lot. There's a lot of shit I didn't do right, but there's a lot of shit I do well, and I always tried to make sure our clients, whether they were mine, studios, or whoever, was try to make sure people felt like important and that their stories mattered and that their ideas mattered, and that they and it's some people don't have that. Some people don't. Some people, some people don't edit their emails because they're worried about, do I sound nice enough? It's like, and I would, but because it's like, you think about stuff like that. But yeah, like, not making people wait a long time for replies, and and just being polite and listening, and it's design. You're going to get shit wrong. There's going to be back and forth. There's going to be edits. There's going to be changes. There's going to be mistakes. But if you treat people with respect and it's crazy what can happen when you just treat people with respect. Like, why is this dumb? Like, why are people like, why is this so like, whoa, what? Like, wait, is that respect, empathy? Oh, like, where the fuck are we? And I don't even know where we are anymore.
At least in the Kickstarter space, if you aren't respecting your backers, you need to go elsewhere because we don't exist without the backers.
And when you don't respect your backers, you fuck the whole community. You fuck every creator. You fucking run off with another fucking pocket full of anthology money. And now no one is going to be able to make anthologies anymore because of these fucking people. Like, it's, and people like Travis Gibb who run that shit like clockwork, and those books get fulfilled and get same way they get fulfilled nicely and show up in nice packaging and all that. People that run tight ships like that, they get hurt because of bad eggs. Yeah. And then you're saying the price of eggs.
Hey, I would like to shout out Ben Ferrari, who did the Always Punch Nazis anthologies and the omnibus.
Ben's
we've had some tremendous people. Cat and Phil do their anthologies.
Yes. Not every anthology is bad. It seems like every now and then a big project comes around that gets a lot of people hyped and generates a lot of money, and then and that's a bummer. And like there were many a long time ago I thought of doing like a Buzz and a Blake's Buzz anthology thing, and like no, like not because of like the drama of it, but like, well, also kind of the drama of it. Like, you cannot running these and curating them and like you putting all those puzzle pieces together, you have to be a special kind of fucking bonkers insane. And Travis Gibb is. I love it. He's good people.
Travis is awesome.
And but so yeah, it's a bum when you fuck up on Kickstarter, everybody sees it. The backers see it because it's a very public platform, and that's how it survives and thrives.
Look, but we're human.
Yeah,
We are going to screw up.
Yeah.
Own it, communicate it, do your best to fix it. I'm not saying you have to be perfect because I'm not. You know, here you want a Blake's Buzz exclusive?
yeah.
When TART 16 came out, I had a newspaper clipping and I needed to name a judge, and I was like writing a crossover with Will. So I was like, yeah, what the heck? You know, Judge Allred, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I put him in, and he didn't know about it till he read it. I didn't tell you, did I?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So, cool. Yeah, I was right. I get the hardcover, you know, the reading copy, and I'm looking through, and Will Allred's not in the book anymore. In our haste, somehow we've used that page without any of the newspaper copy.
Oh no.
In the hardcover. We have no idea how. We have no idea how DC did DC did the dialogue and narration lettering, and then he did the lettering of the newspaper. But somehow I had a page without the newspaper, and that's when I put it. All my fault, you know. And all of us missed it when we were going through the edits, and so we're likely gonna reach out to our buddy David Byrne and have him print out a print that we're going to just put in with all of the Kickstarters as a, hey, this is how the page was supposed to look.
Nice, yeah. David has his own printer. Yeah, he's
doing great. So I think that's so. Yeah, I screwed it up, and I'm going to fix it. That's it. You know, like I'm human. I'm going to mess stuff up. One time I did a Kickstarter and I got 2 messages that in my catch-up tier, they hadn't gotten TART 6. I had gone through and grabbed all of the comics and skipped the same comic twice to 2 different backers. How? You know, like, I apologize, get out the envelope, bag and board another 6, send it off, eat the postage. It was my fault, it wasn't the backers. It was the same issue, so obviously something was going on in my head that night. I don't know what I had against TART 6 that night, but you don't have to be perfect. Yeah. And in fact, I think sometimes these people who screw up big do it because they aren't perfect and they get scared.
Yeah.
You're going to mess up, man. Do your best to fix it.
Yep. And, you know, and to kind of go on with what Kevin's saying there, I think it's a literal miracle that any comic makes it into existence, especially Kickstarter comics, because of all of the events that have to conspire to bring that thing into existence. I mean, it is insane the amount of work that we do as creators, that the artists do. I mean, the artists are there breaking their backs at the drawing board doing these things. The colorists, the letterers, and then getting those schedules to mesh so that they all get it done when it needs to be done, and then get it printed and then mail it out, send it out into the world, and people actually get it and read it. I mean, it's just from end to end, how does this miracle happen?
No, it's gnarly. There's one of the cool things I did before I lost my job with David. Dave, I know. I got all my comic making was for like these people that fired me. So like all my cool comic book stories are like, well, these people. But like I was editing with like David did the script and I helped a little bit with some dialogue and added like a joke. But we did the 51st for a client who's a Canadian, and he wanted to make like a cracked, you know, Mad Magazine type of one shot about, you know, Trump trying to take Canada. And it was like, you know, it was like 83 days. Like the client didn't have a script or really, he was just like, I got a crazy idea. And so like 83 days, like script, found art, got it put together, got it printed, and they sold it. They sold it at Fan Expo Dallas, like what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Like we like from like air to print to selling in like 82 days.
That
Like
is insane.
it was fucking crazy, and like and so like that's one of the things that sucks. So like I was like, I was dying and drowning, but I was getting to do really cool shit, and and so like I kept not thinking about the fighting and drowning part. I was just like, take another gulp of water, like ride it, just be like, like a little thing, and then,
I always say to myself, just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
keep swimming.
Sarah says this, what you guys are talking about is always one of her fears, like always worried about accidentally forgetting something. Though, I think we all hit on this and mentioned it, but it's like honesty. Backers very much appreciate honesty. Mm-hmm. They very much appreciate like updates and stuff, even if the update is like fucked up, like like they're still like, hey, that's cool. They like were honest about it, and now I know my package might be 2 weeks late or something. Like little things like make Kickstarter people super happy and super like forgiving and kind. And one of those things is like. And sometimes you may not notice. Sometimes like they may reach out and be like, hey, this was damaged, or I got the wrong variant, or like this was supposed to be metal and it's not. That's a big, like that's a pricey one, right? But even then, it's like, hey, just fix it. There are some campaigns and it gets harder when like you get like these astronomical campaigns that raise like all this money, right? And they have all these like moving parts, but like some stuff does get missed, and when you start getting into stuff like that and people are sending you messages and no one's responding, no one's even trying, dude, that's when people get mad. But even then, like they'll give you, it's like me dating. They'll give you like that many chances before they're like, I can't do it anymore. Like I'll give you all I don't like too many chances, but that's how Kickstarter, they're like, yeah, I forgave you 5 times, but how many more of my friends can you fuck? No, but it's that. But,
this has got
all of them
oddly specifically.
Yeah. No,
we went from kind of a, like this is a metaphor to like, so 3 days ago.
Yeah, 3 days ago. It's my show.
That's true. That's true.
But I feel like they're very. As long as you're honest and upfront, and like you don't even really have to give someone a timeline. You can be like, hey, we'll get that fixed, but we got to wrap up some fulfillment, and it may be just a second, but I'll get that package out. Keep everything you got, and I'll get you a fresh one. And like, dude, that's all it takes. So yeah, Sarah, like, even if you like, don't be scared of that, because you will. And if you don't mess it up, whoever ships your stuff will. They'll run over it with a truck or set it on fire or tear it open at someone's house and say they owe $50 more to actually get it delivered or something, right? Still do something weird that you're totally out of your control. But like, weird shit's gonna happen. And just pay attention to your messages. Respond to your emails.
I had somebody reach out once and she said, I'm really sorry to ask you this, but could you send me a new one? It arrived and the entire back cover was ripped off. And I went, what? She goes, yeah, I pulled it out and the back cover fell off. And I'm like, there's no way when I'm bagging and boarding that I could rip the whole cover off and not.
I don't know. You're a pretty angry guy, Kevin. You're
he
pretty angry.
He like loads up all the mailers, like sends off like 500 fucking books, comes home from the post office. There's one back cover on the ground. Like, no.
I mean, I'm not saying I haven't been angry before, but I would notice it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I would rip it off and go, well, I'm not going to send that one because I'm angry. I think that because it was media mail, I think they checked it and they shoved it in and the post office ripped it. Mm-hmm. And then you've got the situation where you have not a dilemma, but you have a choice to make. Your choice is, boy, that sucks for you, backer, that the post office probably ripped it up, or I'm going to go grab one of the copies I have, bag it and board it carefully, and send it again. If it's an honest thing with a backer, for me, it's always replace it. You know, like I've never had anybody reach out to me that I felt was trying to pull anything over on me, which means maybe they did because I didn't catch them. But yeah.
Well, the the saga around the hardcover. So I fulfilled most of the hardcover fairly quickly. I was a little bit later than I wanted to be, just because reasons. Um, but when we printed the hardcover, we printed off the book plates at the same time, and thus began the saga of the book plates to get them signed. Okay, I had uh, I had the printer send them to Alice in France, so she's near Paris, right? Um, she signed them quickly and then got them off to Pablo using La Poste. La Poste immediately said, "I don't know where the damn things are."
Oh no.
Wait, what? Come on, man. So we waited a month. I'm like, oh, this is the worst. This is the worst, right? So I called Sam, and I'm like, Sam, I'm sorry. La Poste. She reprinted. She had them reprinted. Of course, we paid for the reprinting of the book plates. Digital printing this time. The first ones were offset. I said, let's start in America, okay? She sent them to Ryan. Ryan Kroboth's our awesome colorist. Ryan signed them, sent them to Brant Fowler, who's our amazing letterer designer, who's in near Austin, Texas, which is technically a country in my mind, but I won't go into that. Brant signed them really quickly. I'm in Arkansas, dude. Brant signed them quickly and sent them on to Pablo. So I get an email. Look, it's the team email, right? I'm like, guys, yay, we're doing awesome, and these things are out. Be prepared, they're coming. Get an email from Pablo. He's like, so which one of these book plates do you want me to sign? The La Poste ones had arrived within days of the one from Brant. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to use this because we're going to race now. Pablo, go ahead and send the ones from Brant on to Alice, please. I'll send you the postage. And send the ones that Alice just sent you, please send them on to Brant. They ended up getting here about within a week of each other. And I'm like, okay, we're going to go with the original offset printing. And I'm like, I've posted about this a few times to the backers to let them know that this international mail thing, whatever. But then as soon as we got them, I have these signed book plates by the entire team, put them in the books, and I get them out to the backers that got the signed book plate edition finally. And at that point, I'm like, yes, fulfillment is finished. This Kickstarter is done. And I actually treated myself. I said, when I finish this one, as a reward for finishing this, besides having this awesome, hardcover, I'm going to get a tattoo. So I got my tattoo.
Oh, shit.
So
are you a tattoo guy, or was this like a
this
first
was
tattoo?
my first one. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Old dude got tattooed. It was probably weird for the tattoo artist, but whatever.
Why were you like being weird?
It's just right here.
It's probably weird for the tattoo artist. I took my pants off. I got a chest tattoo.
Yeah, chest tattoo. Yeah. He said, "Get comfortable." Come on, man.
Yeah, don't tell me to get comfy. Pants are off. Bag of Cheetos is out. Like that's it. Like done.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. It is now.
Awesome.
Do not say yes to a bag of Cheetos in Blake's house.
Yeah. It's the little one, like come in the lunch boxes. It's not the party size. We're not party size people over here.
Anyway, long story short, there is a tremendous number of things that are outside of your control. But as long as you're just honest with your backers, saying, "Look, hey, if you want to," actually, Brant suggested this because Brant's awesome. He does the Kickstarter page design. I think he does yours too, doesn't he, Kevin?
Brent did the page.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brant's awesome. But we actually have, look, here's a money back guarantee. If you don't like this, if it's not what you thought it was, it's not good, email me. I'll give you a full refund. right? I mean, I don't, I want, from my standpoint, I want my stories out there. And I want to do everything I can to make sure that, again, that Kickstarter experience and the reading experience are as good as I can make them, right?
Nice.
Yeah, people are paying their hard-earned money to allow us to live a dream. So
Yeah, for something
it's our
that
job to try.
for something that we thought up, we thunk up in our brains, and now it exists in the real world. I just that's just such a jolt, right?
Yeah.
This thing did not exist until I typed some words to an artist and they made this beautiful thing, right? It's amazing.
It's crazy. It's a crazy, weird, creative world we live in. And I do want to add, I thought about this earlier and forgot to mention it, but when you guys were talking about shipping and how, the time it takes to, assemble everything, and you're not using a fulfillment center or like using a good fulfillment center where, they're going to take care of your people and they're in your packages. Right. But like, I think especially with Kickstarter, like more so than even like buying stuff from like Amazon or a bookseller or something. Right. But like, it behooves you as creators for people to get these packages and like, I mean, how much more does an unboxing video help you guys out as opposed to like somebody buying some big Blu-ray set off Amazon or something, right? But if someone is like, look at the Kickstarter stuff I got, or oh, look at the new TART hardcover I got, and his, or like Charlie McElvey, who like he gets like the custom tape and stuff, and other Charlie Stickney does it. He gets the white ash boxes and stuff. It's just that kind of extra effort. But also like when people get that and they're like, dude, if you can get people to take a fucking picture of the package before they even get to the book, that's kind of a marketing tactic, and so like good shipping, that extra effort, all of this stuff, impressing your backers, it's an important thing that, it's not, I think some people forget that it's not just like, yeah, let's just put a book out on Kickstarter, fucking shit out a script, shit out some art, shit out some lettering, like, I don't know why I'm going with this metaphor, but I'm not going to let it die. I'm just gonna Taco Bell a comic real quick, just squirt it out. And
but phases of that, but I don't see that as much right now. I don't see that as much.
No,
right
it's better, and unfortunately, what made it better is the tumultuous online environment for indie comics. Right, social media is changing, the Kickstarter environment's changing, all this shit's changing, all our marketing tactics are changing. I told someone someone was like, one of the first things when, not to beat a dead horse, but one of the first things someone said to me when I got fired was like, what have you thought about doing like the PR shit like you used to do? And I've done work for both of you. And honestly, if you guys reached out to me and were like, hey, I don't know how to navigate social media like I used to. I don't, back in the day when I was popping on Twitter and everybody loved me, I could tweet out some Kickstarter links and people would go to them and maybe you'd get a couple backers, but it's not that people don't like my opinion, but it's that if I post that link, is someone even going to see it? Yeah. Or how do we get people to go to a Kickstarter campaign by not posting links or anything to like play the algorithmic game, right? And so like I wouldn't feel comfortable taking money for like, if you guys were like, hey, help me out with PR, like I would be like, I don't know.
You can do it for free. Will and I are cool with that.
Yeah. Hey, Mary has an excellent comment in the chat there. I agree, Mary. I agree.
Yeah, it is cool. I had a similar, like when people used to send me like when people had like Blake's Buzz shirts on, right?
Oh,
and like
yeah,
and it was like, oh fuck, like that's crazy. And people would always like send me, and then like some of the creators I interviewed like bought the shirts and wore, it's like that still freaks me out. And I've gotten to be in a couple books now, and so like I got to see how that I've edited a lot of books. Like I have like a solid amount of editing credential now, but and so yeah, like seeing your name in a book and stuff is cool. But yeah, like when you being at a con and having that interaction, or like, yeah, someone taking a picture of the books and posting them, or better yet, like after they read it and they're like, oh my God, this was so good. Like, you know, like that's the dream. But no one's going to take a picture of that book if it shows up bent in half. Like, you know, and if they do, you're not going to want them to, you know, they're not going to post a ruined book and talk about how much they loved it. I'm pretty sure, you know, like I don't see that happening. So yeah, like getting these things to your backers efficiently, safely, with care, that's a big part of the game. And it is kind of fucking sad that everybody on this panel mentioned that tonight, because it's an ongoing problem, right? Like, I don't know how many times, you know, like I know, like if, you know, we like grab people and shake them and it's like, use the Geminis, like, please use the Geminis. Yeah. Why won't you use the Geminis? You know, and it's just like, well, I could save 50 cents if I fuck your 50 cents, pal. Fuck it.
I think
get
it's
the Gemini.
Yeah, it's like maybe 80 cents instead of 60 cents. It's not like this huge, like, it's not that much more expensive. You know, it's not like Gemini's $4 in the envelope, 60 cents. And then I do understand. Yeah. But it's like 80 cents, 55 cents. Well, put it in the thing that's going to keep the thing safe.
Yeah, it comes down to, you know, if I get and I've got books in the mail that they've taken a regular manila envelope, they've slapped the book in there, not in a bag and a board, put it in the mail and sent it. I'm like, okay, that's an approach. Okay, that is certainly an approach.
You used the mail system.
You did. But, you know, my thought is, do you know how freaking hard we've worked to create this thing? I'm going to protect it like it's a freaking baby, because it's a miracle that it even exists. If you don't care about your book and you're sending it to me as a backer, how am I supposed to care about it?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's so easy to do the right thing and put it in a Gemini mailer. And I do, Kevin does this too. And I know, I think a lot of us do. I like to reuse those Gemini mailers. Mm-hmm. So, Kevin's even sent one back to me, which had a really great note on it, dude. Return to your master. It's pretty awesome. But, you know, just reusing them so that, you know, because Kevin and I are both, hippies. I describe myself as a pinko commie tree hugging hippie. Okay. So, you know, but that's, you know, it's kind of cool. I'm tempted to maybe start on the outside of a package. This started from this Kickstarter. Write the next one on it, and we just keep adding to the list, right? I think that would be kind of cool.
Have you ever gotten like a $1 or $5 bill that has those on them, like the zip codes or the locations of where it's been? Or
no, that's cool.
All the trace amounts of cocaine from every state and city.
Yeah.
Why? I always got like, people still give me shit sometimes, because remember that one time when you talked to Ron Mars and did the cocaine joke? I'm like, yeah, I sure do. I sure do.
I'm sure Ron Mars laughed.
He laughed.
Cool.
He laughed. It was
He's
but
cool,
like,
dude.
they just don't. Some people don't. You know, they don't. Some people don't know how to handle me. I think that's basically. That's basically it.
I didn't think to offer him cocaine when I met him, but so I didn't know what he really thinks.
I didn't offer anything.
Well, that's selfish.
Yeah.
Blake. Yeah. If you have cocaine and you don't offer it, that's just selfish.
I never. It's always gone, Kevin. It's always gone. There's never any left to share. God, good times. No. But yeah, it's getting late, and I want to shout out one more Kickstarter campaign that needs a little bit of help. I would like to start doing this. If there are you know, like one camp, like, you know, to kind of not one, they weren't on the panel, but maybe there's one that needs a little bit of love. And this is a camp. I think we all know this creator too. Let me just bring this up real quick. So this is Henri's War Lion book. And it's Dexter Lee is doing his art, and it's so, oh my God, Like, guys, look at this art. Okay, he's got 2 days left. Okay, and he's almost funded. So please go check. I'm on the wrong page. Hold on. All right, so he's got this great new variant. You can get all 3 issues. Look at this art, guys. Dexter's so fucking good. Oh my god, it's wild.
Nice.
It's like cyberpunk kung fu. It's gorgeous. It's crazy. It's so high paced. He takes this all over to cons and it sells out at conventions. It's kind of aggravating. I don't know why this Kickstarter. I mean, Kevin, yours took a second to fund. So Kickstarter's just kind of weird right now. But this is a really cool book. Henri is really good people, and he's a good writer. And he puts a lot of culture and cool stuff in his books. So.
That was a Wolverine homage of the Frank Miller Wolverine.
Yeah,
that's
nice.
beautiful.
Yeah, I love a good homage.
Yeah.
And Chuck Pino is the editor. I think we all know him too.
Oh,
so.
sweet. Chuck's great.
Yeah.
Chuck's also good people. So yeah, I don't have the link on the Kickstarter, or I don't have the link posted, but it's called War Lion. It's live. I think I can edit the show notes, so I'll add the link later. But I really encourage you guys to check this out. It's a cool book. Like I said, Henri's good people. Ran into him at Planet Comic-Con and gave me a big hug and I told him my shoulder was hurt. You know, he saw me like kind of favoring my shoulder. He's like, "You're all right?" I was like, "Oh, I messed up my shoulder." And he was like, "Man, if you want to leave your bag or anything, just leave it by the booth." You know, and he's a very nice creator. He loves indie books. He's got some cool books. I think this one's worth checking out. So if you can, look at it, share it, tell your friends. I just wanted to shout that out. And I was pretty nervous, but I feel like this was fun, and we had too many comments to deal with. That's a good sign for me. But I do want to say, like, everybody, again, the kindness and stuff. If you got to lose your job, at least have good friends, right? Like, it sure makes shit a lot easier. And all of you made things a lot easier. And thank you for sharing the links. Thank you for tuning in. If you check out the Kickstarters, if you check out these guys' work, I also encourage you to like follow them. I was a bad host and did not have anybody drop their social medias, which I used to be really good at that. But I get you guys are the last two. So, obviously you got the live campaigns going, but like, real quick, Will, where's the best place to find you, keep track of you?
As much as I loved Twitter, I'm not there anymore. I'm over on Blue Sky. I think the comics community mostly migrated en masse to kind of Blue Sky, and there's some really great people over there. It's fun.
Yeah.
You can always reach me at Gmail or via the Kickstarter or crossoverdivision.com or any of those places. So if you can't find me, it's probably or can't get a hold of me, I'm probably dead. That's probably it. So.
And I think, hold on. If you guys really need to reach Will, I have his cell phone number right here.
Yeah. Nice.
Hey, Kevin, what about you? Where are you at these days?
Only way you can reach me is you have to back the Kickstarter and message me through there. That's the only way you can reach me.
That's a solid,
Yeah, I have to. I exclusively have to mail him through the Kickstarter. It's kind of weird, but I kind of like it too. So
now, after Friday when we close, you can find me at Kevin Joseph CMX on basically all of them. Blue Sky, Instagram. Still have a place on Twitter. I do more of my hanging out and being silly on Facebook and Blue Sky. But Kevin Joseph CMX, and you'll probably find me.
You should definitely follow both these guys. They're doing cool stuff, and you've heard them before. Most of you have been around my show before. Both these guys have been around for a hot minute, and I learned how to do this from watching their Friday night show. So like, but these guys are like my dads, basically. I got 3 dads. It's fucking nuts. None of them are fucking though, so it's okay.
Bring it in, son. Let's hug.
But guys, this was good. I won't lie, I fucking needed it. I was very nervous, but yeah, like my other podcasting friends told me, they're like, dude, once the mics go hot, you're gonna have a blast, and I very much did. I had a really good time tonight. Had a good time chatting with you. And Rylend and Adam. I love both those guys too. But yeah, for real, like I did learn so much. I stole their idea. I started Blake's Buzz Live when they were still doing their live show, but it was because I saw them doing it, and I saw that there was the Kickstarter people needed a voice. They needed help pushing their voices, right? Mm-hmm. And these guys were doing it, but even you guys noticed it. Like all of a sudden it turns into like, well, there's 10 campaigns live this week. We can't have 10 people on, you know, and there's too many people, there's too many. And, you know, I was doing like solo project podcast interviews, and I saw them doing it. And so I was like, let's try to do the live streams, let's do these panels, you know, and it was fun. And that's, you know, that's kind of how it went for a while. But yeah, I learned that from watching these dudes, and I fell in love with Kickstarter watching these dudes. And I apologize because I chased clout for a while and wanted YouTube numbers, and I wanted, you know, I got to talk to Bendis, and I got to talk to some cool people, and I wanted more of that, and not thinking of the indie community as much as I should. So let
me stop you for 1 second. I was excited to watch you talk to Matt Wagner and was it Kelly Jones?
Yeah, that was a good time.
I was excited for you. And I was excited for me because I wanted to learn about the Matt Wagner and Kelly Jones Dracula book. There's nothing wrong with you expanding your horizons. And you didn't leave us. Don't worry about it.
Nope.
We all know. We all know. We know you, and we know what's inside you. You didn't do anything wrong. You tried to build your show. That would be great for us if you built the show. If you had 500,000 viewers, you think Will and I would be upset about it?
Probably not. No.
No, man.
And hey, dude, we're all indie comic creators at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. Well, I get to say that.
Yeah, I was going to say not Bendis, but Bendis really is. He's the one who...
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, yeah, he's like
bad
Jinx,
joke.
like Bendis started with like zines and Jinx World shit. So yeah, it's but I lost track of that, and that impacted my attitude for stuff because I focused too much on the numbers, and people told me, they were like, well, you got to do it because you loved it. And I do love it. But when you love it so much, you want people to see it. Like we talked about, like your books, you love these books so much. You don't want to send people crumpled paper. You want to send them something beautiful. And every Kickstarter you do, you don't want less backers. You want more, you know, you want more. You want more people to read your story. You want more people to join in on this journey with you. And I got lost in that and let it like hurt me, you know, cause it made me feel like I would be like, well, I'm not doing good enough. And I kept trying to do more and kept trying to do more. And then my fucking little wings burn off. And I was just a fat passed out bee covered in pollen in a little picture. And they look cute. They look cute on Instagram, but when it happens to you in real life and you pass out with your ass in the air, exhausted beyond contemplation, it's not fun, folks. Everybody go work in comics and chase your dreams. No, like for all the pain, the rewards were amazing. I will keep rambling. I at least this part's still good. I don't know how to fucking end a show ever, but we know where to find these people. Check the comments, or check the show notes for the campaign links. Check out these deals. Check out Henri's campaign. War Lion is very, very cool. Check it out. I'm going to be back next week, but I'm not going to announce the guests yet because I don't know who all will be there. But I have a couple of people that are confirmed. One of them or two of them might be Eisner nominated. What? I don't know. I probably shouldn't have said that. Now the fucking something's going to happen. They won't show up. But anyway, I just jinxed it, but whatever. I'm going to be back next week, and I'm hopefully going to be back the week after. I missed this so much, and you know, like I wanted to see how tonight would go, and I feel like it went pretty good. Yeah, so it's Wednesday night. You've got comics to check out on Kickstarter. I'm sure a lot of you have a stack of comics that you bought from the shop. And you know what? You got a little piece of my heart to take with you. That was stupid. All right. Oh yeah, it's right when the coolest YouTuber shows up to say to say, hey, what's up, Katie? I'm like, you got my heart. No, all right.
Was that the good?
Yeah. $500. No, I love my Roadcaster. Shout out to Rode. They make great stuff. All right. I don't know how to stop the live stream. Oh, here it is. All right. Everybody, again, thank you. Got one more shot. Anything else you guys want to say or shout out or anything?
Oh, thanks for the great comments from Mary and Sarah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Mary, Sarah, everybody who hung out in the chat. I really appreciate it.
Everybody showed up. Thank you. Especially, I know somebody said it came from the campaign, so that made my night. Thank you.
Yeah, they made it very clear.
my
Like,
old
I'm only
eyes-
here for Kevin, nobody else. Thank you.
My eyes are bad, so I don't know who it was, but honestly, I really thank you more so because it was such an insult to Blake and Will. So thank you.
Hey, whatever gets him here, you know?
Yeah.
I got to keep my
I'm
clothes
down.
on and people
I'm
still watch the show. So that's all that matters. All right. I found the button to stop it. Check out Kickstarter. Love each other. Empathy's not weakness. Libraries are dope. If you don't have a library card, you're a little dummy. And you can get smarter for free by getting a library card. I'm just telling you, it's smart. Hoopla's awesome. These guys are awesome. Go read some comics. Go read some books. Don't be a jerk. Fuck Nazis. Fuck everything. The world sucks, dude. Make it a little better. All right? Try that. Try not fucking shit in the bed and making the world a little better tomorrow. Can we do that? Can we fucking do that?
No promises.